It's time now to check in. It's weekly legal time with our pal and attorney from Texas. You don't mess with Texas and you don't mess with Jeremy Rosenthal. Jeremy, good morning. How you doing?
Man, I'm going to let my wife listen to that one. You don't mess with Jeremy. I like it. Let's do that.
That's the $5 intro. Imagine what $10 can get you, brother. I tell you.
Maybe we're going to up our game. We'll see how it goes today if we up you to the $10 intro, Rosenthal. But for right now, you're
okay. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. Okay.
Hey,
yes, $10.
You mentioned your wife listening. What about this story out of North Carolina that a family can sue over the COVID vaccine administered without parent consent? Talk to us about this case.
Right. So we got to take ourselves back to, I think this was 2021, 2022. We're in a high school gym, right? That's where the setting is. And then a kid, 14-year-old kid, gets the vaccine, wasn't supposed to, didn't want it. And he's a 14-year-old kid. And, the people around are looking at each other and do we call mom? I thought you called mom. No, did you? Whatever. He got the vaccine. He didn't want it. And the issue is not whether or not that was inappropriate or wrong. It was. The issue is, can you bring a lawsuit over it? And when you and vaccines, you've got to remember when and there's a really good friend of mine in Dallas who handles vaccine litigation, has for decades, which COVID was, he's the guy who you ask about, well, what's the law say about this and that with these vaccines? What he would say is that when you're dealing with a vaccine, you have to remember that you are administering a vaccine to hundreds of thousands of people, and there's going to be an error rate. And what do we do when it goes wrong? And we know that when we administer 100,000 of them, we know at least one's going to go not the way we wanted. We're going to have an arm injury. We're going to have this type of an injury, or something's going to happen. Or in this instance, it got administered involuntarily. What's the remedy, right? What's my harm here? Well, the federal government in this instance would say, look, we said that, you just can't sue us for it. And this family brought a lawsuit. They did it in state court, but there's a federal emergency order that said you can't sue us if we get it wrong. And the state of North Carolina came back and said, no, we actually think that you can bring a lawsuit here. So that's kind of where this thing went. So it's.
But hold on,
you've got a lot of these.
I gotta jump in because that's a person's actions. That's not like a faulty vaccine or the kid got sick from the vaccine. That's a person doing something without parental notice. There's a law right there, isn't there?
The whole background, Jeremy, is this the case where the kid had went and got tested for COVID. His intention was to get tested because some classmates or some teammates had tested positive, and he was doing better safe than sorry, and then this escalated to an administered vaccine. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, that's my understanding, and this is where I'm going to get to be in the $10 category right here. Right.
Nice.
So okay,
right, up it. Let's go.
We're going to up. We're going to up the ante here. Okay. So think of it like this. Okay. When it comes to these vaccines, and you guys are thinking like lawyers, and I really, really dig that. So you actually hit right on the nail on the head, because what happens here is, yes, when person A sticks the needle into the arm of person B against their will, that is assault. Okay, that is by any definition, that is assault. Now, maybe we're not going to charge you with the crime. Oh, okay, fine, we're not going to do any of that. But here's the legal issue: that guy's broke. The vaccine companies got the money, don't they? And the federal government's got the money, don't they? That's why you're right.
Now you're thinking as a capitalist.
That's what lawyers do. People get angry with lawyers. They get angry with plaintiffs' lawyers. But what plaintiffs' lawyers do is they use their own personal money to enforce public policy. Right? If we had a national government department of sexual harassment, we could throw tons of money into that federal agency. That's a lot of tax dollars. Or we can have a lawyer who, takes a gamble and says, look, I'm going to sue. I'm going to bring this lawsuit. Everybody's going to follow this law that we all agree on. That's how these things work. And it's true for vaccines. And it's true for things that I was kind of talking about before. Maybe maybe I'm at $7. Maybe it's not.
You're getting close.
Well, we'll at least introduce you like you play for the Dallas Stars or something like that next time. How about that? We'll give you the PA announcer one. That's the deluxe.
I like that.
Hey, Jeremy, we appreciate you.
that.
It sounds like this may crack the door open for some other cases in the future, maybe elsewhere. Jeremy Rosenthal, appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Always, guys. Bye-bye.
Go in peace.